Good morning, gentlemen. It's Thursday. Colby, Joseph, both your last videos were amazing and made me laugh quite a bit. Thank you for sharing those. Colby, I don't think I've laughed so much at a YouTube video than I did at your last video. It was fantastic. Not only do I think your videos are fine, I think they're really entertaining and interesting. It's one of the highlights of my day to watch them. But nonetheless, there's always room for improvement, so I'm going to share a few things that all of us can apply to our videos to make better videos. I'm going to divide these into a few different categories: visuals, sound, and story. Visuals being the least important, and story being the most important. So visuals would be the actual video portion of your video. With what we do, it's the least important thing because we're just sitting in front of a camera talking. You really don't need a lighting setup to make a good video. The first principle I want to share with you is called the rule of thirds. You divide your screen by thirds and then position yourself along those lines. Right side, left side, center shot, and close up. No matter which side you're positioning yourself on, your eyes should always be in the bottom of the top third. Next up is camera angles. For these type of videos, you want the camera basically straight ahead of you, maybe a little bit below eye level, but you don't want it way above you or way beneath you. You want it basically nose level, chin level, something like that. You can do this with a tripod, a stack of books, or just by taping your phone to the wall if you need to. Super janky, but it works. The camera angle you choose says a lot about what you're trying to convey, so don't just choose a camera angle because it's convenient, choose it because it serves the story. Next up, sound. So sound is really important. If a video doesn't look that good visually, we might still watch it, but if it has bad sound, you're gonna click off of it. Honestly, I think our videos sound pretty alright. There's not too much we need to do in this category. But Colby, your videos are a bit quiet. I usually have to turn my volume on my phone all the way up to be able to hear you properly. There's a few things that you could do to fix this. You could get a mic if you want to, or you could just boost the gain in post in your editing software a little bit, and that'd probably fix it right up. Another thing about sound that you want to consider is what is the speed that you're talking at and why. The speed at which you talk is pretty important. You can convey different things based on how you're speaking. Like, speaking fast can often be very engaging, but it's also important to know when to slow down and add emphasis to something. And also cuts. There are a ton of different cuts used in videography, but generally in this style of video, we're gonna stick to jump cuts. With jump cuts, it's very important to cut at the right time. You don't want too much dead audio space between your cuts because that can be very jarring and takes the viewer out of the experience. But at the same time, you don't want to cut too quickly because that can make you feel like you're cutting yourself off. And then there's story. Story is by far the most important part of the video experience and also the hardest one to do properly. Prepare a script or an outline. There's generally three categories that your video can fall into: completely scripted, outlined, or completely off the cuff. Most of my videos fall into the completely scripted category where I plan out every single word and exactly how I'm going to say it. I'm not very good at speaking off the cuff. I need everything planned out or it just comes out an incoherent mess. And that's why with some of my videos I want to start moving away from being completely scripted and speak more off the cuff so I can become a better speaker. But no video has to be one or the other. It's kind of a spectrum, and you can have different parts be completely scripted and different parts completely off the cuff. It doesn't really matter. As long as you have a plan and you're being intentional about it and it serves the story, go for it. The video needs to be entertaining, engaging, or educational in some way. And whatever the message is that you're trying to get across, it needs to be conveyed clearly. If the audience can't understand you, either they can't hear you or they don't understand the words that you're saying, what's the point of them watching your video? Everything we make needs to have a purpose behind it, and obviously the purpose and the importance of that purpose is going to vary hugely based on what we're doing, but we still need to know what it is and incorporate it into what we're making. Are we trying to entertain? Are we trying to encourage? Are we trying to educate? Why are we doing what we're doing? There's so much more I could say about story, but I don't think I'm qualified to. I'm not a great storyteller yet. There's so much more that I need to learn. So instead, I'm going to transition into giving some advice. Before you can be great, you need to learn how to do things. And a great way to learn is by watching people better than you and doing the same things as them. And then once you have the skills to do what they're doing, make it your own, make it unique to you. People like the Vlogbrothers, Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat, Josh Yo, people like that are so inspiring to me and push me to create better things. Videos like What to Love and How, The Broccoli Tree, Josh Yo's YouTube studio makeover, or Casey Neistat's Greatest of All Time are so inspiring to me and push me to want to be able to do that one day. I'll link all those videos in the description. They're fantastic and hugely encouraging. Work hard and be intentional. I usually spend somewhere between 2 to 3 hours on my videos, sometimes more, sometimes less, but no matter how much time I spend on it, I want it to be quality work that produces a good video. Do this because you want to, and don't worry about what other people think. I need to remind myself of this daily. I'm doing this because I enjoy it, because I want to push myself to become better, not because I want people to like me. Rules are meant to be broken. If you think that you could do it better some other way, go for it. These are just general guidelines. They don't need to be followed all the time. Gentlemen, I'll see you soon.